Welcome back for this week's weekly wrap. There's going to be an echo. We're in this tunnel leading underneath the Capitol building. What we'll do is later take a ride up the elevator to the Capitol. But with it, we just come down the long hallway to the Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey Tunnel, mentioned in a previous video, served with Lieutenant Governor for 4 years here in the state, and he finally retired, wanted to go back to the House. Last week, I said that we were getting a different logo design for our weekly wrap, and here it is. So let's get started. Tennessee Promise continues to show promising results. Tennessee Promise was created by Republican lawmakers in 2014 as both a scholarship and mentoring program focusing on increasing the number of students that attended college in Tennessee. As part of the Drive to 55 initiative, Tennessee Promise provides students with a last dollar scholarship or a scholarship that will cover the cost of tuition and mandatory fees not covered by the Pell Grant, the Hope Scholarship, or Tennessee Student Assistant Award. This scholarship can be used at any of the state's 13 community colleges, 27 colleges of applied technology, or other eligible institutions offering an associate's degree. Most Promise students are the first in their family to go to college, and volunteer mentors have played a critical role in their success. Since fall 2015, 51,221 students have enrolled using Tennessee Promise. Additional numbers reveal approximately 41% of all applicants for 2017 to 2018 were first-generation college students. Retention rates from fall 2015 to fall 2016 were 65.8%. That number increased to 76.9% from fall 2016 to fall 2017. As our economy continues to evolve, House Republicans understand the importance of supporting innovative education initiatives like Tennessee Promise. These solutions will help us continue to prepare our future leaders with the education, training, and tools needed to excel at all career levels. Majority of Tennessee counties see unemployment rates drop. Tennessee ends 2018 with continued low unemployment across much of the state. More than 3/4 of Tennessee's 95 counties experienced a drop in unemployment during December 2018, according to new data released by the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. 76 counties saw a decrease in unemployment in December, and that rate remained unchanged in 3 counties. Williamson County continued to have the state's lowest unemployment during the final months of 2018 with a rate of 2.1%. Davidson and Rutherford counties had the next lowest unemployment rates at 2.3% each. The December 2018 unemployment data for each of our counties can be found here. And with this newsletter, you could click on that link and it will take you to the website to show you those numbers. Because of the fiscally responsible decisions made under the leadership of the House Republicans, Tennessee remains the best place in the entire nation to live, work, and to raise a family. According to our Department of Economic and Community Development, Tennessee has a cost of living 10.3% below the national average and the second lowest tax burden in the entire United States. Our state also has a AAA bond rating, and we are rated first in the Southeast for best infrastructure by Business Facilities Magazine in 2017. Republican leaders are committed to supporting job creation, eliminating burdensome regulation, and backing common sense initiatives that will continue to attract new businesses to Tennessee throughout the 111th General Assembly. Did you know? Stories from legislative librarian Eddie Weeks. On January 30th, 1871, Governor DeWitt Clinton Center signed into law Chapter 66 of the third session of the 36th General Assembly of the state of Tennessee. This act created a new county out of a portion of the territory of Hamilton and Bradley counties to be called the County of James, in honor of the late Jesse J. James. As the Tennessee Encyclopedia of History and Culture explains, Reverend Jesse J. James was the Methodist minister who moved his family to Chattanooga in the 1850s, where he became prominently identified with the industrial and financial growth of the city. His son, Representative Elbert James, introduced the bill which names the new county in honor of his father. Today, of course, there is no James County in Tennessee. The error of this tiny Tennessee community covers an interesting time in Tennessee, being created only 6 years after the end of the Civil War. It was not the only county created that year. 1871 also saw the creation of Moore, Houston, and Crockett counties, giving Tennessee 93 counties within its borders. Unicoi County joined the state in 1875, followed by Pickett and Chester counties in 1879, giving Tennessee 96 counties. The Tennessee Encyclopedia in its entirety for James County gives a bit more information on the reason for this new county. Political Politically, motives played a role in the creation of the new 285 square mile county. The citizens of James County were predominantly Republican and rural, while Chattanooga residents were largely Democratic and urban. Although the creators of the county expected the overflow from Chattanooga's flourishing economy to provide the tax base for building schools and roads for the rural area, the revenues never materialized. James County did not have a peaceful existence. Less than 20 years after its creation, Chapter 18 of the 46th General Assembly was to abolish the county of James and to restore the territory embraced in said county to the counties of Bradley and Hamilton, to which it belonged before the establishment of said county of James. That act was signed into law by Governor Robert L. Taylor on March 11, 1890. In September of 1890, the Tennessee Supreme Court weighed in on this act of General Assembly. As we have seen, quoted, "As we have seen, James County was regularly formed and organized. It had built its courthouse, jail, and other public buildings, had its officers in all respects as other counties. Now must all these be swept from it without the consent of its people? Must the monies expended in the 19 years of its existence go for nothing? Of course these things must be if the act is constitutional. If the legislature may dissolve one county and divide it out amongst its neighbors, it may abolish all and destroy the state. It may divide Davidson or Knox and remove their county seats to any other county by its legislative partition. If desirable to abolish or change counties, the people interested ought to be consulted. Such are the spirit and policy of constitutional popular governments. They can and ought to be carried out. To abolish a county and give its territory to others is to take from one and add to the others without consent of the people to be affected. A constitution which prohibits a small taking off or appropriation certainly protects against entire destruction. The act is void." James County versus Hamilton County, 89 Tennessee 237, 14 SW 601. Really don't know what all that means. But anyway, with the overturning of the abolishing act, James County continued its existence, but its fortunes did not improve. Less than 30 years later, the 61st General Assembly passed 1919, Private Chapter 695, an act to provide for the abolishment and dissolution of the County of James for the transfer to the County of Hamilton. The territory embraced its said County of James and for the repeal of, in 1871, Chapter 66. The act, which was signed into law on April 15, 1919 by Governor A.H. Roberts, declared that within 2 years from the date of this act, an election shall be called and held for the purpose of ascertaining the question whether a constitutional majority of the qualified voters in said county are in favor of or opposed to the abolishment and dissolution of said James County. The election was held on December 11, 1919. The official vote was 953 in favor and 78 against. Remember that this election occurred before 1920. Women did not have the right to vote. Only the men of the county voted in this election. James County existed for 48 years of the state's history. With its abolishment, Tennessee went from 96 counties to its present 95 counties. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this week's weekly wrap. A lot of history, a lot of things going on, and certainly with that, we will include in this video the walk of the tunnel coming up to where I'm at now. We're way below the state's capitol right now. When they renovated the Cordell Hull building, where you've seen in previous videos, they had to get the state house lawmakers, Senate, all of that away to get to the capitol without going outside of the building. So with that, they tunneled through this great hallway It's amazing. I got to see it before it was a finished product, and the way that they lined the walls with moisture barriers so water would be collected and run off and taken away, so there's no flooding that you'll find in this hallway. But then they connected over to my left. We will go ahead and show you the elevator shafts that they were the existing elevator shafts from the other tunnel from the Legislative Plaza. So they mined or dug underneath those, connected those elevators, and takes you right up to where you can find the governor, the Secretary of the State, the House floor, the Senate floor, the State Library. There's a lot of interesting historical features in this Capitol. You need to come visit. You need to see what's happening in your state. Thank you for staying in tune. Certainly like, share, subscribe, and thank you, and have a blessed day.